everyone, Stephanie here. So last year I tried to do garlic and onions, and while I was getting lots of onions and lots of garlic growing over on the other side of the yard, the squirrels got them. We live in a very wooded area, and even though it's a suburb, we have so much wildlife. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and get this garden prepped. I'm going to put chicken wire on top because I've seen other homesteaders and other urban gardeners do this to keep squirrels off. But I'm also going to put chili powder on top once I've got, like, just sprinkle it over the top. Once I have my onions and my garlic the right space from each other and the right depth. I have 3 different types of garlic, so I'm going to do a little less than half of the garden. Different garlics. They have to be about 1 inch to 2 inches into the soil, as long as they're covered with soil. Then I have 2 different types of onions, so I'm going to do the other half of the bed. 2 different types of onions. We've got the flats of Italy, which are a red onion, and the Texas early grano, which are white, or it looks like a white onion. Could be yellow, but looks like white to me. So I'm gonna see if I can't keep the squirrels out of my bed. Skip and I have done a little bit of research, and the chili powder will deter them because they actually, like humans, can be affected by different spice. So not only am I gonna put some of the chili powder over the garlic and the onions, I'm also gonna go around to my floral bulbs. I have some tulips and gladiolas and all kinds of other bulbs that I put in various pots around the front yard and in the ground in the front yard, and I want to keep the squirrels from digging those up. So I guess we'll have at it.
In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. When my heart's
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get everything cleaned up. Go and put some of this chili powder over my flower bulbs. Now, I wouldn't use chili powder over anything that's got a light flavor, or that I don't want to have any kind of spicy flavor to it, like any of my lettuces or cucumbers or anything. And the reason I put these over, not only to stabilize the chicken wire, but if the squirrels do keep coming after, which I didn't think they liked garlic and onions, but apparently they do, especially before they're ripe when they're not quite as tart. At least our squirrels do. So if the chili powder doesn't keep them from digging in my garden, then my last resort will be, I do have some netting, some garden netting that I can put over this bed. It'll still allow light and water to get through. I do not want to keep this garden warm. I want to make sure that during the winter it does get cold. I do have plastic that I put over some of my other beds if I want to try to keep those plants through the winter when we do have a couple of nights of freezing temperatures. So what I'm going to do is, if the squirrels don't stay out of this bed, then I can cover it with a mesh as a last resort to try to keep them out, because I really need to not have to buy garlic and onions. In New Mexico, I had such an easy time growing onions and garlic, different environment, not as many squirrels, and I just seem to always have lots of peppers, tomatoes, onions, and garlic. And for some reason here in this humid environment, it's not as easy. So I'll give you a quick tour of the rest of the garden and then call it quits. Thank you guys for watching. All right. We still have one tomato plant, and it's got some cherry tomatoes on it. As you can see, we've got a few still growing. And we've got our eggplant, one of our eggplants. And it has one more eggplant on it. That's gonna be a tomato bed in the spring. It was okra. We're gonna try to do strawberries in that one. We've got our 2 figs, which I'm going to move onto the patio right there next to the patio plant. That beige bed over by the herb garden, the big black bag is going to be the herb garden. That one's going to also be tomatoes, and this one's also going to be tomatoes. We're going to do some bush green beans and cucumbers over on this side. I don't need that many cucumbers. And then, of course, the peppers, if you guys can see that, we still have peppers growing, and they really like the pots this year and where we put them in the middle of the yard. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the peppers next year when the peppers are ready to come outside. I'm going to probably pull all of these mid-December. I might try to overwinter 1 or 2 of them onto the patio up there with the figs and my pothos. But I'm going to pull the tomatoes, I'm going to pull the eggplant, and I'm going to make a few more pepper plants and put them out here. But a couple of these I'm going to try to overwinter on the patio. We wrap them with the lights. If you can see the lights right there, I just bought some new bulbs for them. We'll wrap them in the lights. We close up the tented patio. And we've been successful so far keeping plants alive through the winter. Our winters are very mild. We might get top 7 days of freezing or below freezing weather. Watch, this year we'll have more because I said that. So by next spring, this will be a totally new place, and I'll show you guys that as things come up. Thanks again for watching.